Welcome to the Learning Summit podcast, where we explore the latest trends shaping how we live, work, and learn. I'm your host, Alex, and today we have a very special guest, Sean Gilligan, the founder of Webanywhere. Sean is here to help us dive deep into a topic that's transforming workplaces globally, the rise of human-centered workplaces. Sean, welcome.
Thanks, Alex. It's great to be here, and I'm excited to talk about this shift towards more human-centric workplaces. It's something I'm really passionate about.
Sean, let's start with something that feels like the foundation of all this: trust. There's been a lot of talk about the trust gap between leaders and their teams. Why do you think this has become such a critical issue?
Well, Alex, trust is the currency of any relationship, professional or personal. What we're seeing today is a mismatch of expectations. Leaders want employees to commit, whether it's returning to the office or hitting efficiency targets, but they're not always offering what employees value in return, like flexibility or a sense of being valued as individuals. It's a wake-up call for leaders to think beyond mandates and start building trust through actions.
What are some practical ways leaders can rebuild trust?
It starts with communication and consistency. Leaders need to listen actively and follow through on their promises. Even small wins, like respecting flexible work arrangements, can rebuild trust over time.
Sean, you've been in leadership for years. Let's talk about the efficiency trap. Why do you think so many businesses confuse being efficient with being effective?
Great question. For years, efficiency has been the default metric for success. Cut costs, streamline processes, automate tasks. But efficiency alone doesn't inspire innovation or loyalty. Effectiveness comes from aligning what you do with your purpose, building relationships, and allowing room for creativity. The companies that are thriving today understand this distinction and are shifting their focus.
So it's about balancing operational excellence with human connection.
Exactly. It's not either or, it's both and. Leaders need to optimize for efficiency, but also invest in culture and creativity.
We hear a lot about the skills gap these days, but you've got a different take on it. Can you share your perspective?
The skills gap narrative often overlooks the importance of soft skills. Sure, technical skills matter, but it's things like empathy, adaptability, and communication that create truly effective teams. Instead of overhyping technical skills mismatches, we need to create environments where employees can grow holistically, both personally and professionally.
What role do leaders play in fostering this kind of growth?
Leaders need to model continuous learning and build trust so employees feel safe taking risks and learning from mistakes. It's about creating a growth mindset across the organisation.
Let's pivot to diversity. You've said diversity isn't just a checkbox, it's a strategy. What does that mean?
Diversity, when done right, isn't just about representation. It's about integrating diverse perspectives into the decision-making process. A diverse C-suite doesn't just look different, it thinks differently. And that's where innovation happens. When leadership listens to these varied perspectives, it unlocks new opportunities and fresh approaches.
How can companies embed diversity into their DNA rather than treating it as a one-off initiative?
It starts with accountability, set measurable goals, ensure diverse hiring pipelines, and create spaces for all voices to be heard, not just the loudest ones.
Sean, one of the big ideas here is community. Why do you think workplaces are becoming more like communities?
Because people crave connection. When teams feel a sense of belonging to each other and the company's mission, they perform better. Community is about trust, shared purpose, and mutual support. The best organizations are building cultures that feel less transactional and more relational.
How can leaders start creating these communities?
Start small, celebrate wins, foster collaboration, and create rituals that bring people together. It's not just about the work, it's about the people doing the work.
Sean, as we wrap up, what's one piece of advice you'd give to leaders looking to embrace this human-centered approach?
Step back and ask yourself, are you just running a business or are you building a community? Trust fuels productivity, purpose attracts talent, and communities, they're unstoppable. The future of work is human-centered, and it's time to lead with that in mind.
Before we wrap up completely, Sean, I'd love to quickly dive into one of your platforms, Webanywhere. Can you share how it helps organizations and businesses build communities, especially in this hybrid world where some people are in the office and others are working remotely?
Absolutely, Alex. Event Anywhere is designed to bridge the gap between physical and remote teams by creating a virtual space where community thrives. It offers tools like live stages for company-wide meetings, breakout rooms for smaller team discussions, and an always-on chat and timeline feature for ongoing communication. These elements help replicate the organic interactions you'd have in an office while accommodating flexibility for remote workers.
How does Event Anywhere help with fostering culture?
Culture is all about connection, trust, and shared experiences. With Event Anywhere, you can host virtual coffee chats, celebrate wins with live streams, or even create custom communities for interest groups within your organization. It's not just a tool for productivity, it's a platform for engagement and belonging.
Do you see this being useful beyond businesses?
Absolutely. Event Anywhere works for educational institutions, professional associations, and even non-profits. Anywhere there's a need to bring people together and strengthen connections, the platform can help. Whether it's a university hosting a virtual open day or a membership organisation engaging its community, the possibilities are endless.
Sean, this has been incredibly insightful. Thanks for sharing how Event Anywhere is shaping the future of workplace and community dynamics.
Thanks, Alex. I enjoyed our conversation.
Thanks for tuning in to the Learning Summit podcast. If you're curious about Event Anywhere or any of the topics we covered today, check out the links in the show notes. And don't forget to subscribe to keep learning and leading. Human-centered workplaces foster trust, innovation, and adaptability by prioritizing people, diversity, and community. Let's all become a little more human-centered. Until next time.